Hello everybody, it's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today. This is the C9FanCast Season 1 Episode 18. So, Worlds 2020 is over. Damn One Gaming are the 2020 World Champions. So, just want to have some quick discussion on that, and then we can move to our crazy 2020 off season. So, how are you guys doing tonight? What's going on with you guys? How is your off seasons? What rank did you guys end up ending the season at? Because it's the deadline for the ranks were over last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I ended up challenger. That's all you guys need to know. no questions.
So,
no questions
do we get
asked.
the account name
No,
or
no questions asked.
No.
I ended up challenger. Bjergsen already talked to me. He said I'll be the next mid laner for TSM.
Okay.
Wait,
that is-
I just read something that said PoE was the next mid laner.
Oh,
Hold
oops.
up.
Oh, crap. You figured me out. All right, I'm joining CLG. I had no other options. I'm just kidding.
CLG Academy.
Wait, no! Holy shit!
Dignitas Academy. Let's be real.
I would just go back home then. Hey, I'll be homeless. Burger King always needs workers, man. They're always accepting jobs. I'm just kidding, guys. So, what rank did you guys end up ending off of? You guys know I'm challenger, so no questions asked there. But did you guys like our season so far? I heard the season 10 was pretty much not liked by people actually.
So
to be completely honest, I got to silver pretty early, and then I went, you know what? I'd rather just watch the games and play with my friends casually. So that's what I did.
Okay.
I play with my friends who are mostly diamond though, so that's pretty pog.
Yeah,
Okay.
I finished T4. I think it was like 200 games. I got sick of playing, honestly.
What role did you play?
Dude, same.
What role did you guys play actually? I played I just play top and bot, and if I go mid, I try to be like Faker and make all these 1v9 plays, and they just fucking fail in my face.
So if I'm playing by myself, I play jungler. If I play with my friends, I'll generally play support.
Okay.
I play ADC because I hate myself.
Dude, I actually love ADC.
I played top. I finished in. I didn't play much. I finished in. I know you guys are gonna laugh. The wonderful depths of iron, because I just didn't play. I was just watching games. That's all I was doing, just watching them.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
And I played top and bots.
Watching League
There
of
you go.
Legends and playing it, it's like, man, I still love playing the game. I still love playing the game. It's something I play every single day. But watching it and then playing it are two different things. It's like, man, I wish I was on a stage and playing it rather than playing with this Teemo last night when he would kill somebody and his team lost in like less than 5 minutes. He said I roasted them. Yeah, I kind of want to just watch whatever Bjergsen's doing on TS.
Yeah, right. I will say though, pro tip for anyone playing the game out there. If you're just down the dumps, you just can't seem to get it together. You can't seem to win your lane. You're just having a bad night. Just play brand support and just shit on people.
Right? I love brand
Those
support.
changes.
I love brand support. It does so much fucking damage. Oh
Yeah,
my
dude.
god.
If you can get a little bit of poke down and then just land a stun combo, they're dead.
Oh.
Hit that ignite button, baby.
What killed it for me this season? Because the season before I was silver, and then they reset you. Is that the mental? I don't know if it's, and I was born here in America. I don't know if it's an American thing, but it's like, oh my god, I just you just screwed my lane. I'm gonna AFK. They start like typing all sorts of stuff, and it's like, come on, dude, it's just one death. Can we clear the game? Or we're down like 3 kills, or they just, it's like people don't want to actually play the game. They want to throw a tantrum, and it's like, I was just getting like, well, why am I putting all this effort in a team game?
Mhm.
And I'm trying to be like peacemaker, and like, I'm like, hey, bro, we got this. And then he's like, F you, what do you do? I'm like, holy, wow, me trying to be positive reinforcement. So it's like, you know what? Even mute all was fine, whatever, but then the pings, it was just this season, and I think Void Boy even brought it up. It's just like, I don't know what it was, but maybe it was the pandemic, maybe it was mental issues with people, but it was just as if people just didn't have the mental fortitude to play the game.
All right.
I finished mid gold. after like I think I played like somewhere between 40 and 60 games total trying to get back into plat, and it was like it was just got to the point where grinding through gold just was such a slog. Like I don't even understand how between like last season and this season it felt like the skill gap just dropped substantially. And so I just gave up after like somewhere in 40 to 60 games and was just like, you know what, whatever, I got the skin, I don't care.
Right. Dude, here's my thing about people who give up after 1 or 2 kills early in the game. It's like I don't think people understand that if you're like plat or below, early gold leads just don't really matter that much.
That's actually
Nope.
true.
No, they don't fucking matter. No one's good enough to take that lead to the bank.
Like,
you can go like 5-1 in lane, and then you go like rotate mid to try and take turret, and suddenly you notice that the top side, their Renekton is 9-1 because my jungler and top laner have just perma gone in rotation to die to him. Well, I guess I lose because ADCs are useless in 2020, and Renekton will just one-shot me from any point. So, yay!
But that's the other thing. That Renekton, yeah, he's ahead. But if that Renekton doesn't know how to split push, or doesn't know how to actually work with his team to actually push an advantage, because I don't care how far ahead the Renekton is, if he just tries to 1v3 your team, or 1v4 your team, and just gets himself killed over and over again.
I don't know, man. Have you seen Fed Renekton's recently?
I have played this game for many years. Yes, I have.
Fed Renekton's are scary.
Listen. I've seen all types of things. I've seen Vaynes who just, shit on their lanes, get 8 kills, go to mid lane, immediately die to the opponent's mid laner and jungler. I've seen Yasuo's who all they have to do is auto attack an opponent to kill them. Just dash around and fail to do anything. I've seen all types of cursed things.
You should have seen what I saw last night. Last night, I was just playing a friendly game with my friend. The enemy team went 0-19. We stomped them that hard. I was like, am I an LCS pro? Because I'm not this good. Like, it really did feel like the whole fucking league of players that are like between, I would say silver to iron, just got completely worse. Like, I don't know. For me, I had a lot of issues playing ranked. Not that I don't like playing ranked or I don't want to play it. And also, I'm really busy with work generally, so it's kind of hard to play ranked. The issue here I always run into is like someone would hover a champion, then someone in our team would accidentally ban it. Then that person's like, "Oh my god, you took away my Nunu, the only champion I can apparently play at level 30. And I'm gonna go run it down. I'm gonna pick Janna mid with cleanse and flash and fuck you guys over." I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm not playing ranked this season. I'm done. It's too much.
Dude, Janna mid, if you got some carries in the top lane and the bot lane and the jungle, can be pretty pog, let me tell you what.
Oh my god! What is wrong with you?
Actually, something recently that I went against that was just way better than it had any right to be was full AP Zac.
Really?
I did not expect. I see the circle and I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, sure, he'll get a little bit of CC on me, but I'm Ashe. I'll just kite back. And then suddenly my 3/4 health bar disappeared and I'm looking at a gray screen like, I'm level 4. What the?
Yeah, tactical nuke incoming.
Oh.
Yeah, did not expect that one.
So I tried to play Lillian the other night ago. Whoo, man! If I running it down, I brought a new definition of that. I was like, what am I even doing? Like, she's a strong champion.
Lilia's like the new Lee Sin. Like, her kit's so good that in like pro play, she's always going to be good, I think. But she's going to be absolutely garbage everywhere else because people don't know how to actually play her.
Dude, I didn't know what I was doing. I played a few games, but I was like, I don't think she's a champion for me. Like, I don't think she's bad. I know why she's good. I can feel why she's good. I just gotta play a few more games on her to get better. But I was like, man, it's a difficult champion to do well with.
I played against the Bella Delphine champion. Yeah. That I was so worried. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so broken. And then our Lucian brand just freaking I think we went like 7-1 before level 7, and it was just like, this champion is trash. just like what she's supposed to represent, but still.
Yeah, I don't understand what the fuck Riot was thinking with that one.
Dude, I don't know what Riot was thinking creating Zoe. That champion is still insanely strong. A champion that can stun you 50 miles away and can pick up summoner spells. Who in the right mind thought that was an actual good idea? What is that?
Here's the thing: Zoe is actually in a balanced state. Like,
After all,
she's
it's been a while. Yeah, like, I mean, it did take a lot to really do it, but yeah. She's not, like, overpowered, but it's like, I hate that champion, man.
Yeah, people hate Teemo too, but he sucks.
Teemo.
The thing is that, like, the champion to me that since release is always managed to be in a pro scene or even in solo queue is Ornn. The champion's just really just too good.
Right?
I mean,
right.
It's just down to, like, one, you have a long range engage, you scale really well. Yeah, you're what's that meme? The tank, mage, assassin, hunter. You can beat almost matchups that, like, say, oh, Renekton's supposed to be Ornn. It's really a skill matchup because of the brittle proc. And then you're giving your team, I could imagine even into the next season with the mythic items, the champion's just way too good. I mean, I was just watching, I don't know if you know, but the Nest, which is in LPL, because I love that region, not gonna lie. Or guess what I saw? Ornn pick ban. Ornn pick ban.
And
again.
then,
so it's like,
oh my god,
you
man. Fucking Ornn even makes your team stronger by having them get stronger items. What is that?
Oh, yeah. The actual gold that his upgrades are worth is kind of fucking insane.
It's actually insane. They need to nerf that. How can you get a stronger Infinity Edge? Imagine if you have an 8-0 Ashe, and you can make your Infinity Edge stronger by buying it. What?
They are hitting him as far as that goes. Like a lot of the high value items are getting cut down, but they still haven't balanced it properly. They said they were aiming for 1,000 gold each for his upgrades now, but they've kind of missed that target from what I've seen.
Oh,
there's some that are like 600 gold. There's some that are like 1,800 gold, 2K.
Hey, dude.
On the topic of Ornn,
yes,
Damwon beat Sunning.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
the LPL one. The LPL.
I mean,
hold on. Did you say Damwon beat Sunning? I didn't see an opposing team show up to play Damwon.
I mean,
oh yeah,
the first
we
two
called
games.
It right. You guys thought that freaking Sunny were gonna win, and who else was here? It was me and
that was me. 3-1. 3-1 for Dom.
There you go. 3-1. There you go. Like,
I have egg on my face from calling G2 winning.
I was 2 predictions off. I was 2 predictions off from getting the whole thing right. Fucking Sunny messed it all up, man. Freaking Sunny had to go and play good. I was right about everything else except for that. That's some bull, man. Oh, I could have won the PC. Ugh. It's better than that year I predicted Cloud9 to win Worlds. Shit.
Oof.
To be fair, they did pretty well that year, right?
It's true. I had them in the finals against IG. So I thought IG part correct. And then I had Cloud9 beating Fnatic.
Hey, I mean
probably went full retard.
Yeah, I don't know what meth you were on to think that was gonna happen.
I had already predicted them getting out of the group of death with RNG at second place. My friend was like, dude, you're actually insane. What crack are you on? I was like, dude, they're a strong team. You gotta believe me, man. I believe it in my heart.
I mean, they were a strong team. They just met a stronger team in semis.
But overall, the awards we actually gave out this year were the awards that we had talked about previously on this show. So the new awards, which will happen every single year, God forbid that I can still always do this. The TSM award is the award that is given to a team that is super hyped and fails to perform at Worlds. Guess which team that was?
Oh, that was TSM.
Bro, I was gonna say fucking JDG, but sure, that works too.
I would have given it to Top.
We gave it to TSM.
I'm gonna give that to Top for sure.
Top, man, 100%.
We could do our own. Okay, so we'll do our own. But I just want to tell you guys who we picked. So the TSM award went to TSM. They were hyped up over and didn't perform. They shouldn't have even left their rooms, honestly. So TSM was the team. JDG was the also I forgot. They won an award for being, I think, most overhyped team. I think so. Let me actually bring up my Discord because I had actually pinned all the things. So we have first and second place all pro teams. So the first place team was Bin, SOFM, Showmaker, Huanfeng, and Barrel. Then we also had the second place all pro team, which was let me go see right now. But you guys can keep talking. Just one sec, okay?
Yeah.
I think overall, I think you have to give I root for Suning, but think about this, right? Because Suning was the number 3 seed, right? And if you put in perspective, I think if we were blindfolded and you said, is Suning gonna even make it to the finals? I'm sure everybody says no, 100%, right?
Okay.
And that just shows the depth of talent, the way they go about their structure in the LPL. In my opinion, is just to show how strong these teams are. Like, you have a team that no one came out of nowhere. I mean, they even took a game off of Dam 1. I mean, most people said 3-0, 3-1, but to even take that game is something. And I'm not gonna lie, Ben did get a pentakill, so at least I have that. But that just shows the depth of talent of the LPL and their farm system of getting these teams always year after year since IG, always performing, always challenging the Korean teams. Now, unfortunately, just didn't match up. But I think overall, I think you have to at least tip your hat to them.
Okay.
Oh yeah, tip your hat to Suning, because
dude, right?
Holy crap! I did not expect those first 2 games to be that competitive.
It was close.
I figured if Suning took a game off Damwon, it was going to be just these random picks that Damwon's just looking at what is this bronze crap that you're doing? But no, first 2 games they just went blow for blow, and so good on Suning, where we definitely, for me at least, where we kind of saw Suning fall off, and I think this is why they were, able to capitalize on Top, but not necessarily Damwon, is because Top plays similar style to Suning. Mm-hmm. They just, in my mind, do better macro, and so I still think Top would have been more competitive against Damwon. It's just versus Suning. They're just clashing against each other, and Suning, admittedly, their team fight for the most part was so good when they were able to pull it off.
Let's see. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I want to go over the awards that me and my friend went over for Rift Insight. If you guys want to do your own awards, we can do that as well. So the World's 2020 awards are MVP, first and second place All Pro Team, the TSM award, and the Bjergsen award. So the Bjergsen award goes to Kanavi. I think he was an extremely hyped up jungler who completely failed. I guess you can kind of equivalent that to a Dade award, but he did worse than Dade. He just wasn't existing in the game. The TSM award goes to TSM because they were hyped up, completely just didn't have monitors when they were playing, apparently. The MVP. So I chose SOFM. My friend chose Barrel. I think that for SOFM, I was looking at the most valuable player to a specific team, and I personally think that was SOFM, and how I look at SOFM and I go, if he's not on Suning, I don't even think they get to the finals. Put any other jungler on his team, Karsa, who else, Kanavi, or Peanut, I don't think Suning have that good a run without SOFM. But Barrel was also considered, and my friend ended up choosing Barrel. The World's 2020 second place All-Pro team was Zoom, Canyon, Angel, Ghost, and Core JJ, and the first place team was Bin, SOFM, Showmaker, Huanfeng, and Barrel. So, other considerations went into it, which were obviously Top Esports, but I did feel like Top did show us something. Like, some of their games were competitive. You did see them actually attempting to play the style that they had played in the LPL. The issue here is why I chose JDG. I think they massively underperformed to every single standard. Loken and Love Mal weren't that good. Yagal just completely shit the bed. Kanavi was non-irrelevant. The only good player on their team was Zoom, and I thought he performed really well in the World's 2020 quarterfinals. So, what did you guys think about the awards? Do you guys thought they were pretty good? So, my first year kind of doing this, so they might be all over the place, but I thought we had some good ones there.
Yeah.
I can't.
I was gonna choose a third place team, but you're over here scraping the bottom of the barrel for some G2 players there. She's scraping the ice cream off the bottom of the tub.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, I was gonna give the Bjergsen award to Bjergsen, and I was like, okay, I'm not that heartless. I was like, that's.
Oh
I mean,
my God.
to be fair, Bjergsen tried to carry some of those
Kanavi
games.
was just non-existent. Kanavi didn't even play the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you removed his mouse and keyboard, the impact would have remained the exact same.
Oh,
to be honest, I'm not convinced that they didn't do that. I'm thinking that there was just someone hiding under his desk, like maybe his like little brother who's silver ranked or whatever, is just playing for him underneath the desk. Yeah, it was just.
Who would be your guys' MVP actually for Worlds? If you guys had to choose one player.
If I had to be a little bit biased, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Wang Feng was my MVP.
That's a good choice. No, that's a good choice actually. I thought he played really well.
Thinking about thinking of like if you look at the storyline, he was behind Jackie Love. He beats Jackie Love because he was on IG prior. Just his performance in the bot lane, even in the groups against Perkz, who was considered pretty good ADC. I just think overall his mechanics was fine. I could see him like continuing the upward trajectory for him, and I just overall like what he did. Like he seemed really flexible. Yeah, I would say Wang Feng for me as a runner-up MVP.
I'd say definitely
Sneaky.
Showmaker.
Dang it!
For
I
me.
was trying to say sneaky. Dang it!
Yeah, definitely Showmaker. Just
That's a good choice.
that guy's just
that guy's incredible.
That guy's just incredible. He's just incredible,
bro. When you have K-pop stars wearing your jersey, actual hot female Korean ladies, you're doing something right.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn.
He's the second coming of Faker.
Ooh.
Not. Hold on. Let me reel that back a little bit.
He's the second coming of Bjergsen, is what you meant to say.
No, if there's my opinion is if there's anybody who has currently playing in Korea has a chance of becoming the next Faker, he's the guy I'd pick.
Okay, Stiggy, who would be your MVP?
I'm gonna be real. I think people are just gonna be like, "Ah, you're biased." I think Ghost. Like
he was considered too.
He freaking just everyone was downplaying him. Everyone was like, "Oh man, he's the weakest part of Damwon by far. If they're gonna exploit anything, it's gonna be Ghost." Ghost in the last 3 series that they played, the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, Ghost showed up every single game that I can recall.
He was anything but a weak link.
It was insane, and people were like, "Oh, he's the weakest player," and I'm like, "Dude, he is right beside Showmaker in terms of the impact that he's having, and especially like, okay, I'm sorry, Sunning in Game 4." Like Ghost just took them to town. Like as soon as the game started and Ghost got the first kill, you could basically just hear him just like grabbing the broom and just like, all right, let's just sweep this up and Sunning into the trash. Okay, let's go.
Okay, with Ghost, that's a really fair pick.
Who would be your guys' Bjergsen award? Overhyped player comes in, or a hyped player comes in and completely fails.
Caps. Sorry to
No,
no.
Caps.
Caps? Really?
Caps.
Guys are high as fuck. Really? No, just okay. Like, if I'm being unbiased myself, he did not have a really good Worlds performance as he did in the past. This is definitely his worst Worlds to date. I would say that.
Like, not to understate G2's performance, G2 taking out Gen G, like, awesome.
Mhm.
Really good job. The G2 as a team, awesome. Caps, though.
Oof.
Yeah.
If there was a reason that they were going to lose versus Gen G, or if there was a reason they weren't in the finals, I hate to say it, but a lot of it stemmed from Caps. Yeah, not a lot of them showed up for. G2 just didn't perform in the games after that, but like Caps especially, just flat on his face.
It was literally just Wonder and Mickey X. And then mostly Mickey X, and he performed badly and gets Damwon, and it's like your best player is underperforming. It's like, curtains out, bro. Like, I love G2, man, but you know, at a certain point, like, people have to understand the reason why people were concerned with Perkz playing ADC was you would get these problems. But I thought Perkz played okay at best, but Caps definitely was not having a good tournament. What I will also ask you guys is, who is your TSM award? Because you guys said top esports. So I want to hear why you guys said top esports.
No, I first of all, I agree with you. It's TSM. You don't get to go to Worlds as a 1 seed, go 0-6, and not get that award.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm a TSM fan, and I just that was just pathetic. Like, I'm okay if they even went 3-3 and they don't get out, or even getting 2, maybe even 1 win. But it just feel as if they. I mean, I saw TSM Legends just recently, the whole thing.
Oh, it was.
It just seemed as if they weren't on page. Like, even Doublelift said in a post that, like, they were playing in trash, and when you watch the Legends, it gives context, because even they were talking about scrims, they were terrible, and he was even saying I was making mistakes. So it just, I don't know what, it felt really, I was just embarrassed as a fan to watch. To me, as a fan, it hurt, and I'm a really realistic. I was just like, wow, okay. I
think you can't give the TSM award to TSM, because if they were, honestly, I think if anybody was hyping them up going into Worlds, they were on something.
I agree with that, but like, it takes something special. It takes a special kind of an aptitude.
Takes a special kind of TSM
to
choke like TSM.
To crush the entire soul of a region, like TSM did.
I think
like what they achieved was extraordinary.
I think the fact that nobody in their group actually got out of semis or quarters, right?
It's true. Yeah.
No. It was Gen G and Fnatic, and they both lost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They weren't even particularly strong.
The other team I was considering for the TSM award was JDG, because JDG were predicted top 3. JDG looked like actual dog shit. Like, but in the history books, it'll be like, well, TSM will be the worst team that we saw. But it's like, JDG, they weren't playing that much better than TSM, man. I'm not trying, guys, watch this video. I'm not trying to be mean here, but they didn't play that much better. If you go look at these games, you take off all the nameplates and put JDG against TSM, you would think they're the same team, because they played that bad. It was atrocious. But in terms of hype levels, JDG were expected to be good. TSM came with this hype level of, oh, this is a changed TSM. Beerus is gonna style on everybody. Well, he did anything but style. He kind of got styled on himself.
I want that.
My argument for top esports comes solely from Knight. Knight was literally the most hyped player on their entire team.
That's true.
And everyone, there was a lot of people, casters included, who on air were saying stuff like, Knight's the best mid laner that's currently here. He's going to be the defining factor of this team. This team, like, top esports is going to win worlds. Like, there were so many people saying that. Mm-hmm. And then they just dumped the bed. Just straight up. Knight.
He had a few good performances.
He just
the
never showed
Galio,
up.
the Nocturne one. Outside of the Galio and Nocturne performances, and then a few of the games in the Fnatic series that they had, it just wasn't the same player that I saw in the LPL, though. Like, where's that God Syndra that I saw all year long? Where was that? Like, nothing.
No, exactly. And, like, it got to the point where I was convinced that 369 was going to be, like, the MVP player of top, because Knight just wasn't consistently showing up. And then they just straight up lost, and I was like, well, shit, there goes my pick'ems.
Yeah.
But with Worlds 2020 over, my quick summary of Damwon versus Suning. Suning put up a really good fight. Suning, like, I saw that they were crying on, like, Twitter, and, they had posted some videos on their YouTube channel. Don't feel bad, guys. You guys played great. You just played a better team. That's just how competition works, I think that Suning made it a lot more competitive than it was made out to be. I did see a lot of underperformances on their side, primarily from Angel. I saw a lot of underperformance in Swordar. His positioning was pretty sus. I think that Bin and S1E12 were their best players all worlds long. Huanfeng also doing his job. He played great. So I think if you're a Suning fan or you're an LPL fan, you should not be sad at all. Your team performed pretty well. But Damwon were just a better team on the day, actually. So you guys want to go to the 2020 offseason rumors? So this is some crazy ones. These are some crazy ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, NA, you'll win Worlds next year. You'll get them. You'll get them, boys. No? Okay.
Not even close, but you know what?
All right.
I'll have hope when a team other than TSM and Liquid comfortably make it to Worlds, we'll have reached an era where I'm like, okay, NA might win Worlds, but until then.
Okay. What do you guys want to start with? So there's the Perkz rumor. Let's start with some of the confirmed ones. PowerOfEvil joining TSM. So
that's
next week.
Yeah. Well, it's not confirmed, right? It's still sourced, but
technically he's going to sign with them on next week on when the free agency period opens.
Really? I haven't heard about this one.
Yeah, it's a Jacob Wolf tweet about an hour ago, I think.
So how do you guys feel about PowerOfEvil joining TSM?
I like it.
I like it. I think they got the second best mid laner. I think if you go to Beerus and a PowerOfEvil, it's like, okay, you're cool with that. And yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm choking. Sorry.
No, okay. What's going on behind that camera? I'm just kidding.
It's definitely a good move. I'm curious what the culture change is going to be with Bjergsen moving to head coach, though, because him and PoE tend to play very similar champions. They have a fairly similar style. PoE's a little more, I wouldn't say active, but he tends to do a little bit more.
Did you say that? He's got champion pool issues over Bjergsen. I think Bjergsen has a pretty wide champion pool given any patch. I think PowerOfEvil, he shines on very few champions, but he's really good at mostly everything though. But he's like he's exceptional at like Orianna, Azir, Cassiopeia, Victor, all these champions. But those are kind of inbreaded into the meta. He doesn't really have a lot of picks he can go for, but he's a really strong player. Like if he's at Worlds, Flame Horizoning, who do you Flame Horizon? Knight or Chovy is one of those draws. Like, okay, you're good. Like, come on, like he's insane. And if you're factoring in TSM trying to win the next 2021 LCS season, if you go from Bjergsen to PowerOfEvil, I think you're happy with this. I mean, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think since PoE has come to NA, and I think I mentioned it last stream, he almost took Optic when they were there to the playoffs. He took CLG to the playoffs. He goes to FlyQuest, and he goes to Worlds with them. You could say every team he's gone, he's improved them substantially, and I think PoE is the type of player that you could see that he still wanted to win. Like his numbers were fine, like considering the group he was in, he performed really well against that group. So overall, I think it's good. It's just how do you like who else, like how do you finish off that team? Like, are they gonna get Licorice? I would be, by the way, as a TSM fan, I would hate if they get that dusted Impact. Sorry, world champion, great, whatever, just he's dusted. Become a coach Impact, you have the knowledge, stop collecting a check. That's what I feel.
Okay, so this one is crazy. The buyout rumor for Perkz. So, if you guys haven't been living under a rock since Worlds 2020 was over, Perkz is in contention to be picked up because he wants to play mid lane, and the buyout clause for Perkz is $5 million. That's an actual number Jacob Wolf put out. It was just shy of $5 million. Like, that's crazy. And the teams considered were Cloud9, TSM, EG, Misfits, and Team Vitality. So no Fnatic Perkz, which actually sucks though for them. And the team that Perkz was leaning towards was Cloud9. That's
let's go, boys.
Just imagine a roster. Just imagine a roster
Sorry, did I
of
say
Fudge.
that?
Just imagine a roster of Fudge, Blabber, Perkz, Zen, and Vulcan. I still think we can get a better jungler than Blabber, but it's not that bad.
Here's the thing. Well, hold on. If we get Spring Blabber again, and he continues fixing the issues he has, because remember, last year was his first actual full-time split, right? Full-time starting time. Like if he just keeps fixing his problems, and he can perform at his higher level more consistently, he's flat out the best jungler in North America, easy.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I'm perfectly fine with Blabber because his potential is just so high. It's so ridiculously high.
I mean, I'm gonna challenge that as much, and this might be me being a fan. Hypothetically, let's have this. If you put Spica on C9, are they a better team?
No.
Really?
Although
Spica's best it's not even close to Blabber's best either.
Blabber is, in my opinion, the NA. Now he's retired. MLXG, honestly.
What?
I would agree.
I mean, we've seen one season of Blabber starting full time.
I mean, we've also seen him in the play-ins too from the world that they did well in.
It was what, 2018?
Yeah.
We saw him a little bit, but that was mostly Svensgaren that year. That was also his rookie season.
I don't know. I have to see a little bit more out of Spica. I know a lot of people are clamoring over his Worlds performance, which was good. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a great thing that he can not choke under pressure, and he played pretty well. But I want to see that more consistently. Like, it wasn't too long ago, this guy was actually pretty bad, all things considered. That's the problem I have right there.
All I'm saying is, let's not forget that a split ago, Blabber was the North American MVP and was absolutely shitting on the entire league. That's all I'm saying. Let's not forget that.
Oh, I'm not disregarding it. I'm just saying even C9 admitted that the teams were not up to their par, and it showed in the spring split. And that's a culmination of NA just being snails at making the region, all the teams good. I'm not saying the guy is bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you look at him, he's very feast or famine. Like, the thing is, the game with personally, I honestly thought that C9 was gonna beat TSM, but if you look at say Selfmade, okay, for instance, he knows how to play from behind. When they attacked Spica in the jungle, the guy just was like a chicken without a head. Again, very good player. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you compare him to, say, MLXG, which was a feast or famine kind of, does his own thing, crazy, it's really hard to place the guy.
And the low lows.
That's how I feel.
It's kind of because the issue here with Blabber is I don't think he's bad. The problem with Blabber is the consistency factor is actually inconsistent. So I personally think if Cloud9 want to potentially get a new jungler, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea, but hopefully coming into this year, he's learned how to stabilize his over-aggressive tendencies, but the meta does play off that, so it's also another combination of depending on what type of patch will be on for the 2021 season for the LCS when it first begins. We'll see how it goes. What other rumor did we forget? I know there's more.
Oh, we didn't actually even talk about Perkz at all.
Yeah, we didn't actually talk about
I'm just kidding. I had you guys. I was like, they almost forgot. Okay, so it's have you guys seen Twilight before?
I don't think we're allowed to admit that.
I've never seen that movie.
No one here is required to answer that.
Oh my God! Okay, so basically there's these movies I used to watch, don't judge me, Twilight, and there's Vampire Diaries, and there's originals. So there's a thing called a love triangle for people who have not been in love or liked a girl or whatever you choose to like, your personal business. That's what Carlos has to choose right now. He's in a love triangle with Caps and Perkz. Who do you choose? Do you choose Caps or do you choose Perkz? That's the problem here. And by what we recently have obviously learned because of Jacob Wolf, it pretty much solidifies that Ocelot is choosing Caps. Like, if that's not kind of writing on the wall, I don't know what is,
Yeah. And here's the thing. If I was Perkz, I would want to stay in Europe and deal with G2 to try to get to the win Europe either.
I would go to Fnatic, honestly.
I have an argument for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think if Perkz leave, it's a good thing, because the thing is you develop the other region. Now that's the devil's advocate. I feel like if he did leave, you have these new talent coming in. You have now it's who's gonna challenge. Now it's just not Caps Perkz. Who's the second best to Caps? Depending on, because Nemesis didn't really perform, right? I totally agree. I don't think he should leave EU, but I mean, money talks. So
yeah, you get
$5
$5
million.
million.
It's healthy for the region. Bro, if he did leave,
if you get $5 million, you're gonna have a bunch of girls just outside your door.
That's not his bio. That's the bio for G2.
Yeah, G2 receives $5 million. Then I believe does Cloud9 just gets his contract, right? Or is his contract?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so much money. $5 million. Holy crap! Did G2 just pick that number out of their head?
Yeah. Here's one thing: is that Cloud9 can always shop Niski then to recoup some of that.
I mean, okay, so Swag and I were talking about this beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that the 5 million buyout, as well as the insane salary, just the entire thing together, you're looking at like $9+ million to get Perkz.
Ooh.
Perkz is not worth $9 million. So in a way, I personally think this is potentially G2's way of doing one of two things. Either you get so much money from Perkz that it's just literally not worth keeping him around. And, you know, with $9 million in the bank to play with, you can get whatever mid laner you so choose. So it's whatever. And if Perkz sticks around, well, that's fine. You still have an insanely good player in Perkz. So it's like, I feel like G2 has all of the power in this situation, and they're just flexing it and basically going, hey, you want Perkz? You want Perkz? Well, guess what? Pay us the literal most obscene amount of money that we can think of outside of Faker. That's personally my take on it.
The thing is that if he does go to Cloud9, that's a huge benefit for them, because one of the other rumors is Licorice was going for up to 2 million. So I don't think 5 million for Perkz, when he's got so much more results than someone like Licorice, even though Licorice is a fantastic player, is necessarily even overkill.
I would normally agree, but Perkz takes up an import slot versus Licorice is homegrown NA. So
right, but
the entire point for Licorice having that much value is partially due to the fact he doesn't take up that import slot.
But he would still be C9's only import, right?
No, it'd be their second import, Sven. And then Niski would be going off the team. He would be replacing Niski. He was already an import. You shop Niski and you shop Licorice. You already placed Licorice.
He just shopped him. You put him in the shopping mall.
If Licorice is going for 2 million, I'm betting you can get 1 to 1.5.
Let me bring up what Jacob
for Niski.
So Jacob Wolf said that Golden Guardians were in a bid and FlyQuest were in a bid. It was around just about 2 million, 1.5 million from FlyQuest, like 1.75 million for Golden Guardians bid, but they backed out due to budgetary concerns. So I guess it was the same thing that Dignitas ran into in 2019's offseason when they paid Huni all that money and then they could barely fill out their roster. Maybe they were worried about that. I mean, is Perkz worth 5 million? I was gonna say 3 million, because 5 million is like, you're getting you're getting substantially the best in the business. Perkz hasn't played mid lane in almost a year, so you also have to factor that in too. Like these are things people got to consider. I think Cloud9 right now are just kind of looking at the accolades and not looking at the players. I think Perkz is a fantastic mid laner. I think he'd be top 3 if it come over. But Perkz has not played mid lane an entire year. That is a problem right there, because he's not really been practiced on mid lane for an entire year. Not saying his skill has deteriorated, but we've not seen his mid lane capabilities pretty much all year.
Really good players are able to swap around roles like that.
Of course, he did play mid back in spring, but you know,
I would actually state, or I would go down and say that him not playing mid lane for so long is actually a benefit going into this season.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Because the meta is going to shift so drastically because of these item changes, presumably, that everybody's relearning the game anyway, and he doesn't have to unlearn things that other mid laners have to do.
Why are you gonna bring that up, man? Dang it! I was gonna be like, I got the punchline right there for him. No,
Small,
no, you're bringing it
small,
up. That was a good point. I did not think about that. That makes me think about things differently. Thank you.
Small, slight change. This is just one that I found. This is just a rumor that I found really interesting. We were kind of talking about junglers earlier. I'm not sure if everyone's heard, but it's rumored that Xerxes from Astralis is potentially going to go to Immortals, replacing Xmithy.
Confirmed.
Xmithy. So
it's now confirmed. Okay, so it's confirmed.
They're replacing Xmithy with Xmithy, essentially.
Yeah. And well, a better version of Xmithy.
Sure.
Xmithy from 2 years ago. And so that means Xmithy is going to be available. Which, yeah, I'm just going to say this. Xmithy is probably the single most consistent jungler in the history of the LCS. And with all of these new players potentially coming into NA, I wouldn't be too sad to see a team like potentially Cloud9 with, all of these new players popping in and all of these new imports and stuff. Basically, with all the preseason changes, I wouldn't be surprised to see a team pick up Xmithy just for consistency's sake.
I don't want to see Cloud9 pick up Xmithy and get rid of
I don't want that either.
That's not a bad. Hey, he's not a
versus
bad
Blabber. I'd still take Blabber, but Xmithy.
Oh yeah, to a team like
Xmithy would be good on a team like 100 Thieves. I think he'd be 100 Thieves. Xmithy's not a bad. They need a consistent jungler. They've almost never had a consistent jungler. Onda, Contracts. Who else? Meteos was good for a little bit. Outside of Meteos, they've really never had a substantially good jungler outside of Meteos, honestly.
Here's what we're going through again. It's like we're like, why are we recycling Xmithy and Meteos? Like, let Contracts play. Let these new talent I get it.
Contracts isn't new, dude. He's been in the league for a while.
Oh no, I know that. I miss.
You're talking about yeah.
You could try to get an Oceanic player. That's what you could try with.
Well, here's my thing. It's like there's a difference from just recycling old players and putting together a team full of just old players to see if it works, and having a singular veteran player on a team full of young players to bring consistency and leadership to those players.
Xmithy also could retire.
He also could retire.
He's been playing for a long time.
I just think there's a difference.
Go ahead.
Good. No, I'm pretty much finished. You can go ahead.
Golden Glue 100 Thieves, right? No, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm actually kidding.
I feel that if Xmithy, I heard the rumor is that we can keep on with Xmithy. He's supposed to go to CLG, which
deja vu. What the fuck? You guys are taking a lap around all these teams in the LCS with some shit. Is Dublin gonna go back to CLG before he retires?
Guys, stop! He's already dead.
and I feel bad for Wiggly because I feel like he's just not that kid has a lot of potential, but he's just on an organization that's just not. He's like, I'm trying to think of an NBA team. He's like the Cleveland Cavaliers now. Like nobody wants to go there. Who even goes to Cleveland? Nobody cares. Like nobody even knows about Cleveland now that LeBron's not there. It's like why? CLG is like who? What are you talking about? CLG EU? Like what are you talking about? Like it's a dead org. So I feel bad for Wiggly. Like he was good when he was a PoE, and like I feel like he's an underrated jungler that just needs a better. He's a better org. So I would like to see like Wiggly go to like FlyQuest. That would be great. You're surrounded by if Santorin leaves, and he's an NA. He's also an NA talent as well. So
what else?
I mean, if we're talking junglers, then we also have to consider that from the Oceanic League, Babip, and then I believe Inori is still a free agent right now. So. I mean, those are two pretty big names that could also make their way. Last I saw, this was I think a while back, the people were saying that they might go to CLG, but I mean, and there's just so much there's so much fresh talent and so many changes that are going to be happening. It's just like, yes,
finally something new. It's just me and my friend were talking last night after I went to the store. I think teams like CLG, Immortals, and Dignitas have a benefit to the league. They could bring in these NA players no one is willing to try out and buy them for cheap. They're new players. They're not going to cost that much. Put just 2 veterans around them, have the veterans show them how to play the game. Then if these NA players are actually pretty good, you could either keep them or trade them off and build up your infrastructure somehow, some way. That meaning you're bringing value to the league, then also you are bringing up fresh NA talent, quote unquote, right? You could bring up these Oceania players no one's willing to try on teams like CLG. They're going to want to play on an LCS team. If all the slots are taken up in another team, CLG is your only best option. I think CLG and teams like Immortals and Dignitas have a really good benefit that they could be bringing now. Bring out some NA players no one's willing to try out. You might as well. What other option do you really have? Because, like, trying to sign big-name talent probably isn't going to happen outside of a few players. That's just how I see it, But what about you guys? Do you think they have some benefit to the league other than just sitting there dead half the time?
I mean, I'm willing to bet that a huge number of Oceanic players are going to be on the academy teams for a number of the big. Like, I can see Cloud9 and Liquid at the very least picking up a number of the big name Oceanic players, but it's really tough to, outside of, I would say, Dignitas and maybe Golden Guardians, it's really tough for me to look at the free agents that are available. Like, Golden Guardians is rumored to be in talks of getting Licorice as well. And it's like, so you're going to spend money on Licorice and then also put on the same team this Oceanic player or like one of these new up-and-coming academy players. Like,
this is a waste of money.
It is.
Yeah.
You don't buy a Licorice and then test things out. You buy a Licorice and then grab a jungler and a mid who can play around him.
No, yeah, you buy Licorice if you're FlyQuest, who was just in the finals. If you're Team Liquid and you want to say, okay, Impact's done. Or, yeah, you have to be someone who was a top 3, top 4 team last season.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, what are you doing?
And now we get to the controversial one of LS potentially being on the coaching staff for T1 and the crazy fans that are T1 fans. So, which one of you guys told me that story?
That was me.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I don't know how I missed this one, honestly, but literally just today, I was reading that. So there was a Discord message that was accidentally leaked on one of the T1 players' streams, and it stated that LS as well as Polt, I believe, were going to be transferring to their LoL rosters.
Mm-hmm.
And LS, a name all the way back from StarCraft 2. I was playing StarCraft 2 when LS was around, so that's how long this guy's been in esports. But just the sheer reaction from the fans has been like, we were just talking and being like, yo, we thought NA was toxic with like TSM fans and stuff. The fans of T1 were sending like funeral flowers with like RIP to the T1 headquarters, and then someone else who said that they parked like an advertisement truck outside of the building, or like,
I just sent everybody the I went and found the truck. They parked a truck outside of SKT's
oh my God.
headquarters in Korea and said, "No future for a team that shuts out devoted fans. We SKT T1 fans demand a clear and detailed explanation from top management."
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
They crowdfunded money to park this outside their office for a day.
But these are such entitled fans, though. Like, I get SKT T1 legacy org, world championships, best players of all time that they've had in their rosters throughout the years. But as a fan, why do people feel this way? I never get this. Oh my God. So I'm just trying to paint everything together. As a fan, first of all, DMing its grandmother, messaging his grandmother, harassing her, that's already like, you should be not doing that whatsoever. And T1 owes you nothing. And you're not paying Faker, you're not paying these guys a salary, you're not, obviously, you're just a fan of the team. They don't owe you an explanation, though. They don't owe you anything. All they owe you is some championships as a fan that's watching their team. And
additionally, like, just on top of that, we had a lot of people being like, what the hell is TL doing when they brought Jat in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a huge plethora of people who are like, oh, he's just a caster, he doesn't know anything. And then he comes in and TL ends up going to Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So dumping on a caster because, they have a history in like StarCraft, or dumping on a caster because you don't think that they have the game knowledge is just absolutely ridiculous.
That's true. Like, out of all the casters should be more than qualified. Now, the only issue I have with LS is not even really an issue. I think his casting's fine. I like listening to him. The only problem with listening to LS is that when I'm waking up to go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, when I'm hearing like, oh, I'm like, okay, he needs to stop doing that. It's literally him moaning consistently all the time when a play happens. I'm like, why am I waking up to a guy moaning? Other than that, LS always has been, talking...
I could give you a few reasons why you'd be waking up to a guy moaning.
If you get your way with Bjergsen, that's gonna be the way.
So moving on to LS and things he's talked about. He's always kind of talked shit about coaches, like, well, a coach isn't this, a coach isn't that, blah blah blah. Okay, if you're gonna be a coach of T1 in some shape or fashion, put your money where your mouth is. You keep saying coaches ain't shit, prove it. Hey. Prove them all wrong.
I think this is actually like a very good move because SKT has already built that culture of respect for the coach, and the fact that they brought in someone as revered as Polt is to kind of head things as far as interactions go between LS and the team itself. I think that this should be a positive thing. I can't obviously say, but especially going into this kind of turbulent season that we're about to see start, having someone like LS that can objectively look at the game and move macro and correct item decisions, presumably, right? It should be a benefit, especially Faker has shown a remarkable flexibility over the years with his champion pool and the way that he plays the game. So I think it's probably a good fit, but I could understand why they would be upset. Not this upset, but a little bit wary about picking up a StarCraft 2 coach and then LS.
Because, I couldn't imagine LS trying to tell them something and the players not want to blow their brains out from listening to this guy. It's like, why is he talking to me about Morella Namicon? What the hell's wrong with him? But it's also I think he could relate to them in a different way. He could relate to them on a intellectual level from how they play, because he's also from a competitive background in esports as well, and he also has knowledge of their games from an outside point of view as well, from casting them. So I think he's actually going to be a pretty good coach for them. I don't want to chalk this up to race, but it just seems like some of the Korean fans from T1 are just kind of racist. They probably just want a Korean coach, and they already have one though. They're getting one.
Talking specifically about that, are you aware of the Malice drama? Because this is coming up as a big reason that they're unhappy with him.
What happened with that?
There was a point where Malice, while he was on BBQ, while LS was coaching for them, it was the league below LCK. Malice got into it with Untara, which was the SKT equivalent team. I think it was their top laner.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a huge demand for Malice to apologize for whatever reason, right? And LS went to bat for him, so everybody has decided that LS is racist because he did not attack Malice or actively defended Malice in this situation.
That's ooh. LS is a controversial figure to the point where he's deactivated his Twitter. He's only going to answer very few private DMs from people that really honestly know him. Hopefully he still shows his face on face check. I don't want the guy depressed. Obviously, I've been through that myself. It's horrible to go through. If you're fans of T1 and you're doing this to him, you can go fuck yourself. Stop doing that. What is wrong with you people? Like, are you that in love with these players? You're willing to do that? You need to rethink your life if you're that in love with someone. Like, that is ridiculous.
Grandma, though.
That too. Yeah. Like, it's, oh my god, man. Like,
that's the line. It's like, okay, if you're in the public limelight, I have been in the public limelight very, very little, and I have still gotten, several dozen hate mails and other things, which is hilarious because it's actually almost a compliment. Like, hey, people care about me enough to message me. That's so nice.
Right.
But, like, the moment you start DMing someone's grandmother or like their family members and like threatening them, that's like you have gone from like, despicable straight down to like bottom of the chum bucket level of disgusting.
Right. So this is very serious, but I would like. So these are all Koreans, and I'm guessing his grandmother does not know how to speak Korean. Right. I'm just wondering how many, like, I'm sorry. It's just like, I have to imagine how confusing it must be for her to be sitting there getting messages probably in a language she doesn't even understand. It doesn't even understand why she's getting all this hate.
Like, that's just how, like, I get being passionate. That's fine for a team, but the issue here, when you're going out of your way to make someone's family member feel like shit for something that's not even confirmed. It's not even confirmed he's going to be a coach on the team. It's not even confirmed, essentially. Like, he may be joining the coaching staff. People got to really understand the line between maybe, rumors, and confirmed. And it does kind of look like he will be a coach because T1 came out and they had their statement. He had his own statement. A bunch of the players are coming to bat for him. So obviously there's something there where it pretty much does kind of make it seem like he is on their coaching staff. But even so, like, give him a chance. Like, I always have wanted to see him coach because he's always talked shit about coaches. I wanted to prove himself. And I think he'll be a good coach, honestly. I haven't seen the days of his mouse days. It's what Sticky brought up, but I can only go in from the perspective of I'm gonna see him potentially on the stage, and I'll just judge it from there. But anything you guys want to say on that one? Do we forget any other bigger rumors? I'm pretty sure we.
Oh yeah, did you hear that Jensen is going to be coaching the head coach for Immortals?
Oh right, I'm out of here. See you guys later. I quit. Oh shit.
No, okay. I'm not gonna lie. This one caught me off guard because I didn't actually see. I just saw like a random news article where it was like Jensen to coach Immortals. Oh, and I was just like, and it just like it took me like the biggest whiplash double take to just be like, wait, Jensen, he just signed for where did Immortals get the money? And then it was like, no, Jensen, not Jen. And it was just like, oh,
oh my god.
I heard in the TSM like drama that because of like the Immortals, it's the Immortals like Jensen or I forgot Macalypse. I don't know how to pronounce the name. One of them were in DMs with someone, and Lino was saying that because of COVID and people leave from Europe to here. It's just what's causing them not to get players. When this guy basically in his text messages is saying, no, you're lying. It's your bad blood and your history that you have that imports don't want to come to TSM. And the guy was like, hey, you can put my DMs on. I have no problem with you doing that. That was the biggest thing because they were saying, TSM was saying that it was due to other circumstances where this guy is saying, no, they just don't want to come to TSM.
I think it's half and half.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that's true.
It wouldn't, honestly.
You've got the controversy with Double Lift and what is she, the vice president?
President,
anyways,
actually.
President, yeah. You've got Bjergsen now being the head coach and part owner. You've got all of the like we can go back to season 2 and 3 and talk about Reginald drama.
You have Amazing. See, Amazing was an European player. Sven and Mithy, Yellow Star. They just kicked Kabe, which Obviously last play, but I thought he was actually pretty decent overall. So
I think it's the Lena thing, personally.
Maybe Lena's giving Double too much power. I mean, I don't know, honestly, but I think there's some truth to what he's saying. I think that TSM is going to have a hard time getting EU players specifically because of their bad history, but the caveat with joining TSM is big fan base, a lot of Twitter followers, more followers on your stream, potentially meaning more money for you in terms of subs, people that'll buy your merch. There's beneficial things to both sides of it, but I'm not, it's like, because I discussed this in a video with my friend last night, I don't think it's out of the realm possible. What he's saying is not true, though. Like, it's kind of true, but then it's also like some random guy, potentially assistant coach on a team no one cares for, kind of randomly blocking people as well, so it's also, you're in at that too. And this isn't the first time TSM has been in drama. Name a more iconic duo than TSM in drama. No?
I don't know.
Is there another? I was like, is there a bigger iconic duo than TSM in drama? I don't even know, honestly.
I mean, they were the first, right?
Yeah, I mean, half the reason there's so much drama is because it's TSM. Any news is drama with them.
Oh,
true.
That's pretty much it. Unless you guys got something else, we covered everything. Unless new stuff is gonna come out. So by next week, Monday, Tuesday, we'll actually have some bigger confirmations. Because we'll be past the free agency open period after Monday. So, time to start finding out who's going to be on these teams. So, yeah, see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all, enjoy. Anything you guys want to say before we close out? You guys love TSM, right? Big TSM fans, you're going to buy their merch tomorrow, right?
Yay, TSM.
I hope Bjergsen coaching manages to break the Perkz curse. That's all.
I do have one thing to say.
Okay.
I'm hopeful of Bjergsen coaching, not because it's Bjergsen, because Mithy went from player to coach, and he took a team that was with egos, like Reckless and all of them, and I feel that I hope they continue this trajectory in League where players who feel like they're confident enough can be coaches, because I think that's the best person to be in that position. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hail TSM overlords. That is all.
I pray to Bjergsen every night. The great church of Bjergsen. You guys want to hear about the great word of Bjergsen? I hate you guys so much.
No, I'm good.
Was legit hovering the disconnect button. All right.
Bro, TSM fans will make you think there's a church of Bjergsen by the way they talk about this man. Holy crap. We'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, Way of Life Esports. It's signing out, guys. Peace. You guys have a it's the Nightwing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video that you guys just watched. And if you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and a comment down below. And if you never want to miss out on a single upload, make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I post a video. Thank you guys for the continued support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.